Wine Tour is a part of the range which changes every 2 months. So 6 times a year, a new range of between 25 and 30 wines comes in, which is only on the shelves for about 2 months. The whole rationale of the Wine Tour is not just that these are well-chosen adventurous wines, but also that in store on shelf you have tasting notes and scores attached to the wines. And so I would highly recommend ideally spending just a tiny bit of time to browse those tasting notes, and those notes will tell you what the best food match is, whether it's full-bodied or light-bodied, whether it's dry or sweet, and there's a score out of 100, which also indicates which wines I think are the highest quality wines in the range. It's an absolute scale. Anything that scores over 84 or 85 is really good wine, and so hopefully that is a good guide. The best region for Italian wines. I'll bet if you asked a Sicilian, they would say Sicily. And if you ask someone from Tuscany, they would say Tuscany. So look, there is really good wine made all over Italy, and that's really the idea of this wine tour. It represents what is best about Italian wine. And we've got wines from Piemonte in the north, down to Sicily in the south, passing by Tuscany and Sardinia on the way. So there's a bit of everything, a bit of the best from all over Italy here. In the 3 different colours, there are wines in the tour that I suppose are my personal favourites. The Mythos Rosé from Basilicata is a beautiful example of dry rosé. The Roero Arnese from Piemonte is just an unusual grape. I hardly ever get to drink this, and it's really special, a lovely, slightly scented dry white. And then I have to say I do have a soft spot for this San Vicente Chianti Reserva. Classic Chianti, not too heavy, just a perfect match for pizza, pasta, typical Italian food, it's ideal. There are several wines in the tour which I think really are genuinely adventurous and unusual, but one that I would pick out, and this might surprise people because we're in winter here, but I do think a really good dry rosé can still be beautiful drinking in winter as well as in summer. And we've got this Mythos rosé from Basilicata down in the south here. It's a really good, dry, winey rosé. It tastes like proper wine, and I think that was one of my highlights of the range. If you're feeling particularly adventurous and like the idea of trying a wine style that you might not have tried before, then I'd recommend a wine called Zibibo. Not only does it sound rather wonderful and exotic, but it tastes rather wonderful and exotic. It's made from the Muscat grape, and Zibibo is the Sicilian name for the Muscat grape, and that's normally used to make sweet wines. But in this case, it makes a drier wine. And it's got this beautiful grapey perfume, full of flavour, dry, appetizing, just a bundle of joy. Pizza is really wine friendly, and so to be honest I think you could choose any wine from this wine tour and it wouldn't disappoint with a pizza. But I suppose if pushed, I would go for the Nero di Troia from southern Italy. It's an unusual grape, but in this case it's given a rich, really nice, mellow, quite exotically flavoured red, which I really enjoy. Lovely with pizza, particularly if it's pizza with, with quite strong flavours. I think this would go beautifully. If you're looking for vegan wines, it is possible these days. There are more and more wines that are suitable for vegans, which means that the products used for fining and filtering the wines aren't animal byproducts, as might sometimes have been the case in the past. And it does seem that the area in Italy that is most advanced in producing vegan-friendly wines is the Veneto, so the area around Lake Garda. And in this range we've got a Soave and Lugana, in whites, and then a couple of wines from Valpolicella, a Valpolicella Ripasso particularly, which was suitable for vegans as well, a lovely smooth red. Really popular, of course, is an antipasti board, a lovely way to start a meal, and Italian wines, not surprisingly, are well suited to that. I think the Roero Arnese from northern Italy is perfect, a nice crisp dry white, but also this could be where Lambrusco comes into its own. We've got a red Lambrusco in the range, lightly sparkling, not too dry red, lovely with salami, lightly spiced cold meats. I think this way, and Lambrusco, just serve it lightly chilled, not too cold, but maybe 10-12 degrees. That would be lovely.